Hey everybody, so today we're going to talk about how to create this assignment for kind of messing around with text a little bit here. And so um, we're going to take a word and then alter it so the appearance looks like the name. And so there's a lot of different examples that we can use for creating this assignment. So this will help you out with coming up with a design and then also how to make it look like these images are going to be actually on the ground with some shadows included. And so I'm just typing this out simply like this. So we want to make the text as big as possible. And then what we want to do is I'm going to change the spacing here so these text is a little bit closer together. Okay? And so it's up to you what you end up creating for all of this. But for this design, so I've got something about like this. Now, I'm probably going to change the background color, but I'll have something like this. So this is my first part. So it's going to be reflections. Okay? And then I'm going to make a duplicate layer. So I right click here, duplicate layer, click OK. And then what I want to do is go image, let's go edit, transform, and then reflect. Or flip vertical. Alright, and so I'll pull this down, and so I've got something like this. And so now I've got my little reflection going on here. Okay? Now I want to make all of this look a little bit smaller. Okay, so I've got something like this. Alright. Now the next thing I want to do is, I might make even a new layer back here. And I'm going to make a rectangle here. And I want to change this color just a little bit. In fact, I'm going to make it more of like a bluish tone. Alright, so something like this. Okay, and then I'm going to paint this in here. So there's my paint bucket. Okay, and then I'm going to move this back. Now if I want to add a gradient on there, that might be kind of cool. But, so this picture here, so I've got this. This is going to be my reflection part. Okay. And so, in fact, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to make another, let's see, I've got that color. I'm going to paint right back there. And I can either do a different color, like I just want to make it a little more subtle. So I can even make another layer here, paint that. And so you can see how there's that little subtle change. And again, if I want to add like a gradient on there, that might be kind of cool. We're going to start with something like this. In fact, this might be a little bit too similar in color. So I'm going to go a little bit lighter. I don't want to go completely white, but I just want to change that a little bit. Alright, so now here's my reflections copy. Okay, so I'm going to rasterize this text here because I want to be able to edit this a little bit. Okay, now watch what I do here because this is kind of cool here. So I want to make this reflection kind of pop out a little bit. So I'm going to go edit, transform, perspective. Okay, I can distort it, I can do all sorts of things, but I'm going to make it look so it kind of goes like this. Okay, so there's my reflection. Now this reflection, I want to change the opacity of it a little bit. Okay, just so it doesn't stand out so much. Okay, now here's the cool part. So I'm going to go into here. How you doing? Good. So I'm doing a little demo on my computer, so that's why I'm talking to myself. So I go into this add vector mask here. See, deleted. Alright, so I've got this vector mask right here. And I go into my gradient tool and I want to go black to checkerboard. Okay, so I can go black to white or I can go black to checkerboard. So here's my black to checkerboard. And so I'm going to press the shift key and I'm going to click and drag up to here. And now I've got this little reflection going on. And so that's kind of how this works now. If I want to change the colors of anything, I can. If I want to go in here and do a color overlay, go into color overlay, and maybe I want to go more of like a blue color, but go a little bit darker. So I've got something like that. So that's kind of the way this assignment works. And so the other thing too is make sure that this is above there so it looks like it's actually on there. Now this layer, I've got it at 55%. I might even go a little bit less. And so you can kind of see how this whole process works. If I want to add a little gradient in there, I can even go, let's see here, in this layer here, we've got the gradient. Let's see. I'm actually going to do a gradient overlay and see what happens here. So here's gradient overlay. So it's white to this. I'm going to grab this color. So I got that. Click here. Click on this one. Click that same color. And then I'm just going to go a little bit lighter for each of these. Okay. Then I'm going to go into here and then lighten that up even more. So now I've got that, and now I've got linear, and then I can change it. I can change the scale, I can change the opacity, but you can see what happens. So there's this little gradient. It's subtle, but you can still see it. So that's how this assignment works. So I hope that helps for you in terms of creating the shadow underneath whatever you might be creating.